A warm welcome to the British Minister for Middle East and North Africa, Hamish Falconer. It's indeed a great pleasure to have you here with us on Arabia channel. So I've been told it is your first visit to Saudi Arabia, and of course we wish you a pleasant stay here in Saudi. So as this marks your first official visit to the kingdom, could you please share with us the purpose of this visit?
Saudi Arabia is a very important strategic ally to the UK, so it's been delightful to come and meet so many important counterparts, including the Vice Foreign Minister, the President of the Human Rights Commission, and a number of other Saudi friends who we've had important discussions with about the situation in the region, our shared visions in relation to climate change, and a whole wide range of other issues.
Your Excellency, how would you describe the bilateral relationship between Saudi Arabia and the United Kingdom?
It's a very important relationship, and I'm very glad to have got here so early in my time as the Minister. It spans a whole range of fields from security, defence, energy, but they're also very important people-to-people links as well. I think we're the only Western country with an online visa application system for Saudis, and I'm very glad that more than 500,000 Saudis have visited since the scheme was introduced. So I would encourage all Saudis to come visit my home constituency in Lincoln as well.
So let's now turn to the current escalation in the Middle East, starting from Gaza. Let's discuss the situation in Gaza. The UK has declared that the two-state solution as irreversible. Could you outline the steps that have been taken already and those planned steps and that would, support this position?
So it's a very important issue, and I'm glad that you raise it. We've been calling, since we became the government in July, for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. We think a two-state solution is absolutely necessary, and we call on all parties, both Israel, the Palestinians, and all regional players, to take the necessary steps in order to try and see the more peaceful future according to a two-state solution that we all want to see.
So the UK position, Your Excellency, regarding the Gaza war is steadfast. Thus, your country has suspended approximately 30 export licenses for military equipment to Israel. Could you provide us an update on where exactly this decision currently stands?
So on the 2nd of September, we took this decision and announced to the British Parliament the rationale behind this decision. We do not want to see British arms being sold other than in accordance with our laws, which set out clear criteria in relation to international humanitarian law. On the 2nd of September, we set out the 30 or so licenses that we would suspend, and we keep that regularly under review. So that means that there are no arms currently with extant licenses to be sold to Israel that would be used either in Gaza, Lebanon, or the West Bank.
You described the Israeli legislation to ban UNRWA as unrealistic. What are your thoughts on that? And are there any alternatives that could potentially replace the UN agency?
No, only UNRWA can operate at the scale required to get aid into Gaza, and it is also playing a vital role in providing health and education in the West Bank. So we see no alternatives to the important role that UNRWA plays. There are, of course, legitimate concerns about the neutrality of the agency, and we are very pleased to have supported both the Catherine Colonna review into the operation of the agency and to have provided significant further support in order to ensure those reforms are implemented. We restored funding to UNRWA when we became the government with £21 million of funding, and 1 million of that 21 million will be allocated to the internal reforms required to ensure the highest standards of neutrality.
So, Your Excellency, what about the post-war expectations? Could you share with us the UK's vision for Gaza post-conflict scenario?
So, as I said earlier, we want to see an end to this war as soon as we possibly can. And what will happen next must in the end be a Palestinian governance under the Palestinian Authority in Gaza. That is a very important principle, and it's important as a stepping stone towards a Palestinian governed state as part of a two-state solution, and the UK will take every effort to try and make that happen.
So having discussed the Gaza file, let's proceed to address the situation in Lebanon. The UK considers UNIFIL's role as essential amid the current escalation in the region. How does the UK view the recent attacks on UNIFIL forces in southern Lebanon?
So we have been concerned by all reports of attacks against UNIFIL. I have made myself a number of statements in response to reports of that nature. UNIFIL has an important role. It's mandated by the Security Council through Resolution 1701, And we call on all sides to be extremely careful with Security Council mandated peacekeepers who have an important role to play in preserving international peace and security.
Yeah. Do you anticipate an ongoing role for UNIFIL after a ceasefire is implemented?
So the rulings of the Security Council are important. There's an ongoing resolution, 1701, which should prove the basis both for ceasefire and for what comes next. So we will continue to press for that with all parties.
Thank you so much for your time, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
Thank you.